So back in the summer, a couple of friends of mine and I went to work and cleared out a portion of our old barn that had collapsed and needed to be removed. The wood was rotted, there was no useful purpose for it, it was just basically garbage at this point. And so when we were clearing everything out, we stacked it into this 25-foot high pile of wood. And now I've waited about 5 months to do this, but in today's video, I'm setting this entire pile of barnwood on fire! Now the reason that we've waited until December to burn the barnwood is because number one, in my town you can't actually have a burn like this without having snow on the ground. And number two, I wanted to make sure there was enough snow on the ground that I could prevent any sort of spread or fires from some dry grass or branches or other stuff. I'm expecting this pile to get pretty dang hot. And I'm actually really curious to see how the snow ring melts around the edges of the fire and how far that spreads out and in terms of how much snow is actually melted from just the sheer heat of the fire. So without further ado, let's set this pile on fire.
I kind of want to see how much gas you put on there before.
Wait, you want me to give it a go?
Yeah, give her a go.
All right, let's do it.
Well, maybe we ought to determine between the two of us who is the least attractive. And that person ought to be lighting this thing on fire because...
Oh, the vapors?
Hopefully I'm pretty enough to keep the channel going until you're...
So the trick here is that we've got a persistent ongoing heat to try to get the initial fire going, melt off the snow, let the water evaporate, and get the really good fire going. So the interior is starting to heat up and smoke and catch fire to a certain extent. I guess that part's drier than the outside, which has all the snow on it, which logically I guess makes sense. Here, why don't you do a wrap on the entropy of vaporization?
The entropy of vaporization.
We're talking about entropy change and the third law of thermodynamics.
I don't know how to describe the entropy of vaporization. I'm not even sure if it applies in this situation. All I know is that it requires a great deal of energy to turn the solid into a liquid, the solid snow into a liquid, water, and then into a gas. We just need to put the energy to this thing until a sufficient amount of the snow has melted and kind of boiled off. And then once the snow is gone, it's not going to be robbing the fire of, the energy the fire needs and the wood needs to burn. And maybe one of your viewers can set me straight on the entropy of vaporization, but I'm pretty sure it has something to do with...
That seemed like a pretty good explanation to me, so I'm willing to take it.
At every phase change, that snow will remain, regardless of how much energy you put into it, the snow will remain 32 degrees until it melts. And then it'll go up to 212 degrees, and it'll stay there until it boils. And I think that is maybe the entropy of vaporization is where that energy gets carried away. I don't know, but I think we're getting a fire here. I think this is starting to actually take hold here. Now I know there's going to be a lot of people out there watching this video in the comments who are going to be saying,
"Why aren't you reusing that barnwood?
There's a lot of money in barnwood.
You could sell it for something.
Or you should upcycle it. Or you can maybe do a hugelkultur bed."
And while I really do respect the thought and sentiment behind most of those ideas, the reality is this. The barnwood is really too rotten to be used for construction or decoration. People are really just not interested in buying it, especially when it means they have to come all the way out here to the middle of nowhere to our farm to haul it away. I wouldn't want to use it for like composting or wood mulch or hugelkultur or anything, because that's just really not practical. And just so you guys know, based on where I live and what we've got going on here, I have no shortage of tree branches and wood mulch. Frankly, a lot of times I'm challenged to find ways of disposing of it. And so trying to use some barnwood that's gonna have nails in it and other junk on it, that's just really not what I wanna do. And so the most efficient path for disposal is to set it on fire. I'm noticing that the animals look sufficiently freaked out.
Middle of the fire, in the most intense heat, if you look right above it, you can see there's minimal amounts of smoke relative to the edge of the fire. The reason is there's enough energy in the middle of that fire for it to burn the smoke that it's producing. The smoke combusts around 1200 degrees, and around the edge of the fire, it's not in that spectrum, so it's hot enough to burn the wood. Pyrolysis for that to occur, so the gases are driven out of the wood, and they assume the form of smoke, and then that smoke can be burnt at 1200 degrees. So, this white plume coming in front of it kind of obscures the view, but you can see that right in the very middle of that fire, there's less smoke being produced.
No more need for propane. Come on, buddy. I can tell. You don't like this fire one bit, huh? Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. It's okay. No need to be scared.
Cool. Hi, Toby. Hi, little puppy. Hi. So silly boy. So silly boy.
How'd you guys do it?
Flamethrowers.
Oh, look at them. They're like, I don't understand. What's going on? Hi, Nuggets. Hi, geese. Look at the beautiful nuggies. They're just being weirdos. Isn't that cute?
So beautiful. Look good.
So one sort of profound thought I had as I was standing here watching this burn, some of this wood was harvested about 130 years ago. And when that wood was harvested, it was probably like 100 or 200 years old even then. So like in theory, there is like a piece of wood somewhere in there that started growing 300 years ago. And here it is today, it's going up in smoke and ash. It's just something to consider, I guess. So right now I'm standing about 40 feet away, right? About 40 feet,
37 and a half.
37 and a half feet. And I'm feeling really warm, so much so that I feel like I have to like unzip my sweatshirt, because it's gonna be toasty. This is gonna go quick too. This is gonna go a lot quicker than I thought. We invited some friends over to hang out for the bonfire, but we wanted to get it started beforehand. I just hope the fire's still going when they get here. Okay, my eyebrows stayed. Whew, it was so hot while I was putting the wood in there. I was worried I was about to burn my eyebrows off. Whew.
trying to catch him. He was coming out of there. Then I saw him over there. So he's somewhere in this, as of yet, unburnt.
It ran under that piece of wood right there.
Yeah.
And it was there.
I just saw it over here, Morgan. I think it's underneath that piece of plywood.
So apparently Alfred and his wife Rose saw a weasel, and he's been running around. So it's been about an hour and a half since Alfred and I first started the fire, and I'd say it's probably at like the halfway point. So this is going much quicker than I thought it would. I feel like I missed an opportunity. I should have live streamed this as some sort of Yule log. So the fire's starting to die down and it's getting kind of late. I'm gonna head in for the night, and we'll see what this looks like first thing in the morning tomorrow. I just hope nothing bad happens overnight. Hey, Toby dog. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. How's it going? How you doing? How you doing this morning? You're all covered in straw. All right, let's get the day going. Come on. Release the Kraken! Okay, I promise you that we're gonna go look at the fire in just a minute. It's actually right over there. But before I do that, I wanna actually talk to you guys about something that's really special that's going on right now. So I probably don't need to explain who he is, but I have this friend by the name of Justin Rhodes. He lives down in North Carolina. And well, Justin actually has an event going on right now to celebrate the 12 days of Christmas. I tried to explain to Justin that I think really Christmas is one day, but he said, nah, my friend, it's 12. And well, to celebrate the 12 days of Christmas, Justin is giving away a special Christmas gift every day between December 25th and whatever is 12 days after that. And there is going to be a very special video that I've made just for you guys who are celebrating this event, and it's all about my 9 most important tips for how to raise ducks. That's going to be available through this 12-day of Christmas promotion. And by the way, it's not just me who's making content for this thing. My good buddy Al Lumna has got a video in there. Jason Contreras from Sow the Land. The super rad Jill Winger also has a special recipe video that she's making. So there's just gonna be a ton of cool stuff that you get if you sign up for this. And so if you wanna have access to this celebration and all the cool content that comes with it, and did I mention it's free? Just click the link down below. It gives special access to the Quack Pack to be able to see all this stuff. Now let's go see what's going on with the fire. I mean, it's not 100%, but it's a pretty good burn. So while I'll admit that a certain part of me was actually dreaming that this entire thing would just be ash, I knew it wouldn't be perfect, but I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. That burned down pretty darn well. And what's crazy too is like right now I'm standing about, I don't know, 30 feet away from the fire, and you can see that so much of it melted down and turned to ice. So it froze and refroze in the snow out there. Which I guess sort of shows you just how powerful and how much heat was generated by this fire. Now I know some of you are wondering what the next steps are going to be. Well, this morning what I'm going to do is spread the ashes and the hot coals out more, and take all the remnants that are sitting outside the burn pile and put them in. And so effectively what I'm going to have is a second burn pile going here. But I also know that there's going to be some stuff that just doesn't burn, like for example this sort of piece of metal that got pulled out at some point last night. Like, look at this piece of metal. Oh, and this was probably the coolest thing I saw. Like, I'm not even sure what this chain and hook actually is, or what part of the barn it was from, but it's pretty cool. I definitely want to save some of this cool metal stuff